starting our fourth episode, and I want to thank our sponsor, Brewing Gadgets Company, which is based in Dubai, the biggest warehouse of coffee equipment. And if you're into coffee and you need any coffee equipment to buy, go straight to their website, brewinggadget.com, or directly to their warehouse and be ready that they have everything what you need for professional or home brewing. Hello, coffee people. I'm Irina Sharipova, coffee teacher from Dubai and educator at Rose Story Roastery. We start the fourth episode, Coffee People of Middle East, with Mariam Erin, UAE Brewers Cup champion 2021 and UAE Cezve Ibrik champion 2022, Q Arabica grader and student of coffee. That's actually a very interesting description. What stands behind that student of coffee?
Okay. I feel like I always consider myself a student of coffee, or like everyone in the industry feels the same. I guess so. Because what I love about coffee is that what maybe we know now is different from what other creative people in coffee industry will discover the next day. So we don't have to stick with standards. I don't mean that we don't credit what's the foundation of the coffee, but what I love about it is everything is like so innovative. Everyone is so innovative that we keep growing, and everyone's just to have to cope up with that growth of the industry. So everyone is learning every day,
Yeah.
and everything might not be the same. Like
Exactly,
always.
exactly.
Yeah.
Lifelong learning, right? So tell me, please, how did your coffee journey start?
So, like most of everyone, how it started, I think so, is back in my college days. I'm actually a career shifter. There's not, or like everyone, there's no like course that leads you to a coffee industry. So I graduated food technologist. I worked in laboratories for 2 years almost. And then for me to get out of my country, the easiest work is to be a barista. So I moved here in UAE, see a lot of opportunities, and the easiest way is to be a barista. Though I have a background, when I was in college, I already have like a part-time job in Starbucks,
Oh,
like
okay.
3 hours per day,
Okay.
4 days a week. So I have a background like, okay, I love coffee then. And then I started being barista here in commercial coffee at Costa. And then 1 year, and then I joined competition, though it's like internal because it's Costa. I represent the UAE as well.
Oh,
So then I realized that there's more into it. Then I love how people talk about it, how deep they can go into coffee when they move to specialty coffee. So that's how I started. And then I moved to specialty coffee until now. I'm still here learning.
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And now, what is your position? What are you doing right now? Where you are?
So we're currently building a team. I am at Cosmic Garden Coffee Roastery. So before it was like an online platform, and then we moved to a wholesale just this month or last 2 months. So we're still starting up, and I'm the QC at this roastery at the moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me a little bit about this company. So, what are the coffee there, and do you teach people? How often do you do quality control?
So since we just started, actually I just joined a week ago. Yeah, so we're just setting up what will be the routine.
Oh, nice.
How will I know the clients? Who do we have right now? Who are we gonna have in the next weeks? So for now, I'm still establishing the relationship between our company, our coffee, and to the new clients and our current clients, because I'm just about to, introduce myself that,
Yeah.
hey, I'm here,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'll be taking care of you guys. Yeah, so as of the moment, we're just on that level.
Cool. Interesting. So congratulations with the new position.
Thank
I
you.
think all the time if you change the place where you work, so you grow. Yeah. No
Yeah.
matter which position, no matter which company, anyway, some changes in your life will teach you something nice. I hope
Nice.
you will love it. So tell me please about some challenges you faced when you first started making coffee. So you moved from commercial coffee to specialty. So did you fall in love in specialty coffee taste? Did you find it easier than commercial? And do you have maybe some funny stories at the beginning? You know, some beginners, they have some stories at the beginning of the coffee career. Can you share
Yeah.
something?
So challenges. So that the question is challenge
Yeah.
and how I like the transition from
Commercial.
your career
Yeah.
to commercial to specialty.
Yeah.
Right? So at first when I'm changed career first, it's a big twist. Even my family don't want it because I already have a stable job in Philippines, and then they were like, "You already have here. You're already working in your field." It's because being a Filipino, it's very big thing to a mother to pursue your career, whatever they plan to you, right?
Okay.
Right? You finish your study. We invested on you, and then suddenly you will become a barista. That's how it looks like in Philippines way back.
So for them, for your parents, does barista job sound like okay, or they didn't want you to be a barista? So
it's like it makes them feel that I degraded myself. I
Ah,
demoted
okay.
myself because I'm already working in laboratory. And then maybe I'm so stubborn. I just want to go out. I was like, I cannot see myself being in a closed room environment, dealing with the same thing. It's very routinary. Yeah, it's stable.
Yeah.
You will grow, but it's very routinary. You're closed in a room. You just do the test and make a solution, and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't have interaction. And at that age, 21, 22, I was like, I don't see myself being in this kind of situation. It's stable, but I'm not happy. So I go out, even my parents don't want, and then started this. It's like, my motivation is I want to prove myself.
Okay.
So when I went to commercial coffee, my initiative is like, I want to be promoted.
Oh.
Yeah, only that one. I want to be promoted. I don't know specialty coffee at that time. And then when I've been into competition and started learning about coffee, I was like, oh, there's more beyond beyond commercial coffee. There's a grade. How do they do the grade? Why it's cheaper commercial coffee? Because Costa Starbucks are expensive. Why suddenly the greens are cheaper? So it keeps me on asking, and then I realized that the more you know, the more you don't know.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. I agree with you. Totally.
Yeah, so I pushed myself. I felt so motivated to move into specialty coffee and to become more attached to the process, and like beyond just making coffee. What's hard on the specialty coffee beginning is trying to know it all
Yeah.
and then realizing that you cannot. That's the hard part.
Exactly.
Because you will hear them talking about something and then you want to jump in, but you don't know about it. So you
Yeah.
have to research about it. And then you'll end up hearing other things, which is about the topic, but different. Different point of view. Different
Yeah.
perspective, different preference. So that's what I love about coffee industry. You cannot know it all. You just have to learn from the people around you.
Yeah, and the coffee industry is growing, so as you told already, so we have to learn every day, despite of having all of the certificates, all the
Yeah.
improvement that you're professional. So even to me, like, okay, so even if I'm a super professional, many years in coffee, so I don't know about coffee, really, honestly. So it's too complicated product.
Yeah, you can say
but
it
it's
more.
interesting. Yeah, exactly. So, and about some funny stories, maybe you can share something about coffee job, some barista thing.
Some barista thing when I went here in UAE, I think is that's the usual, the extra hot and all.
Oh, yeah.
The extra hot, extra sweet and everything. In specialty coffee, no matter how hard you try to explain everything. You try to oh, you don't have to have it. Actually, there's a good point and there's a bad point in it. That's how I see it. Like we are trying to stick so much in the rules of specialty coffee, but we forget that our boss are the customers. Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter how hard we explain something, that boss, you will not experience the quality of the coffee, blah blah blah. But they're the one who's paying. They're the one who's enjoying. It's their preference. So it's good that you explain something, but let them get what they want in
Yeah.
the end. So it's always a funny scenario because baristas always talk behind the bar. They were
Yeah.
even laughing about the customers. They were even I've been in that position that I laugh when the customers, and then I realized that maybe I have to adjust. Maybe they're really correct. That's how they want to enjoy their coffee, no matter how I push this quality. So yeah, it's fun.
I see, I see. Awesome. So let's jump into first competition of yours. So you said like you competed in the internal competition of Costa Coffee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it about, and how did you decide to compete first of all, and your competition story, please?
So it's actually fun because I felt like it's my entry level competition, because it's like the format is like barista competition. You have to make your espresso, you have to make your milk base, and you have to get your signature beverage.
I see.
The-
But I assume you can change coffee.
yeah, can. You
Yes.
just use the same.
Yeah,
But the
yeah, yeah.
routine is mostly the same. And that's how I started.
Did you took any place?
I won UAE.
No, I mean in Costa Coffee. In Costa Coffee.
I represented UAE
Yeah.
during the regionals. Yeah, I
Yeah.
won here.
Ah, nice, nice.
I won here because what will happen is that there's like nationals.
Yeah.
And then the other Costa will compete each like country winners.
Ah.
Yeah, so I competed with Middle East. I competed with Oman, Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
Egypt. So yeah, that
Okay.
one I didn't get. But it's fun. I learned. I
Yeah,
learned things.
indeed.
Yeah, it's
You got
it's
some
very
experience.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So what was the next?
Oh, the next after
Yeah.
Costa?
Next competition, yeah.
that one, it follows 2 years after. Yeah, 2 years, and then I moved to Brewers Cup Championship.
Okay, so tell me more why you decided to compete in Brewers Cup, because it's totally different with barista competition. And what did you feel while preparing for that? So why?
When I joined Brewers Cup, I didn't really actually focus on the technical at first. I get so hyped up, and with the champions, I get so hyped up with the champions that I see how they contribute to the industry, how they can deliver a message to a massive, like this fast growing industry. They really can give that impact.
Yeah.
So for me, before thinking of the technicals, I just established my purpose first. Like, what will I have to say? What do I have to say if I competed? What's my message? What's my purpose? So I established that first. Even I'm not planning to compete yet. I don't have the assurance that I will be competing. My spiel is already prepared.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you have a team with you? Did you have a team with you while preparing?
Yeah. They're very supportive. You cannot like competition is not a one man one man thing. It's always with a team that supports you. You don't need to have a big team or a lot of people behind you, but you need to have a trusted one that knows where to help you, like where to fill in the blanks in your routine, in your preparation. So it really matters a lot.
Yeah, I see. So Brewers Cup, and what happened? Did you win that year?
In UAE, yes. Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah,
what
that you-
was? Did you expect that you like able to win, like to be on the stage to represent the country? So you was it your aim like to be in the finals, or you already like knew like yes I will be the first?
At first, it's there's a funny story actually because I'm not supposed to be competing because I didn't get the slot.
Oh really?
Yeah. 2 weeks before the competition, there's someone back out. So
Oh
I'm on the waiting list. Then they put me in.
no way.
Yeah.
So that was a destiny.
Yeah, I can say. And I was like, that moment I already said, then I already won. Like having the opportunity to be in the list because it's very limited.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like someone who wants to compete.
Yeah.
So being on the list, consider yourself as a winner because you have the chance to say what's your message.
Yeah.
So that part I don't think about winning because I felt like I'm overwhelmed already that okay
Oh.
I'm about to
So that
really
moment pushed you.
yeah it's like okay I already won. I don't have the title. At least I have the 10 minutes of my presentation to say what's my message, to say what's my purpose, to let them know what's my thought about
Yeah.
coffee industry, about coffee. So that's it. I didn't expect that because I know how good, like those people that I am competing with, they're the people that I really looked up to when I started. And it's like being on that lineup is like a privilege already for me. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So what did you feel while announcement?
I cried. Yeah, I was like, no, this is not happening. Maybe it took me a day or two
Really, to realize.
to realize that
Yeah.
really I will represent UAE in the world. And then yeah, that's so it's just like I was thinking so everything is possible. Like after that one it's like everyone can do the same thing as long as you have that drive and
Wow. Impressive. So you'd been preparing only for 2 weeks and you won.
yeah, but actually I prepared already 2 years before. It's like I already have the concept.
Okay.
I'm imagining it.
Okay.
Like I don't know if it will be happening, but I was just imagining that if I will be on that stage, this is what I want to say. So every time, like what I told you, every time we learn something, I even have a training logbook that I just write whatever I learned something today
Wow.
on the brew or on the water or everything that I read because I always forget something. So
Wow.
so I have that training logbook and then I sum it up when competition happens. So it's like not really a stress 2 weeks because I already have the routine and everything.
Wow. So it's been a long way,
Yeah,
but
it's been
2 weeks of practice.
yeah, the practical is really really hard.
Which coffee did you use? Which coffee did you use? You remember?
90 plus.
Yeah. Okay.
Panama Geisha. Yeah.
I see. I see. Nice. Have you thought about giving up? Like, was it like stressful for you, like preparing for competition, or it was like a normal routine to have a daily practice?
Giving up, I think I didn't think about it, but I didn't expect that it would be that hard.
So, what
Yeah.
was the hardest part of preparation?
In the hardest part, I think, is when I was still working in a shifting. I'm handling the shop. That's the thing. So, what people doesn't know about my routine that time is that I do shifting. So if my shift is like afternoon, 3 to 11 or 3 to 12, I practice after the shift.
Oh.
So I stay there in the warehouse, like there's a storage back of our cafe. So I stay there until 3 o'clock, 4 a.m. I then just to practice my routine, pouring water, talking to myself, and then until the security guard will ask me to go. So that's my
Crazy.
routine because I cannot skip my work that time
Yeah.
because I don't have the assurance that I will get in. So I don't have like the capacity to ask that I need to practice. So daily, that's my routine. Maybe a month or two. So I always practice after the shift. Or if I'm morning shift, that's a good one. If I'm morning shift, I stay until night to practice, which is that's the hard part because you have to maintain your mental health, your physical health, your
Sure.
emotional.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should be
absolutely.
balanced, and then you still have to do exercise just to maintain everything
Yeah.
in in line.
Wow. So, what about the world? How was it?
How about the world? The world,
What was the difference preparing for the national and to the world stage? Did you hire someone to train you, or it was the same team? And what did you face up like on the world?
for the world, I feel like nationals is harder than the world.
Oh.
Though I didn't win in the world. I didn't win the world, but I feel like the preparation and the intensity of competition in national is hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's your entry to the world. If you're already in the world and then okay, you're already a champion, you're already
Yeah.
a winner. Those are the top people of each country competing to one another. So for me, the hardest part is winning the national first. Yeah, and you really start from the scratch, right? Everything,
Yeah.
concept, coffee, you start from zero. But in the world, you already have something, your base that you know that approved by your whole country community, and then the whole country is behind you. Everyone is like rooting for you. You become united.
Yeah.
Like your country is united, backing you up. So that's a very big support already. Unlike in nationals, that it's just you. Actually, it's you versus you. Yeah.
Nice. So, what happened on the world? So, which place did you take? And what was
In
the debriefing from the judges for you?
in the world, I learned so much on the world competition because my routine went well, everything went well. It's just that that competition is very interesting because it happened 2 years from the last, right? Because of pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't know how will be like the judges approach now. The coffee evolves.
Yeah.
Maybe the preference or how the judges will be calibrated. You know it more, I think.
Yeah, sure.
And so we have to adapt what's on the trend now. So my place is actually 26, I think. 26. Yeah. So which is too far and too low. At first I felt like sad. Yeah, when I performed, I know I did well. I know. So what's the hard part after performance and after having the top six? You really want to do the debriefing so much, right?
Yeah.
Because of what? What did I do wrong? Oh, wow. But the thing is, when I see that during the debriefing, my score is like 6.5.
Oh.
Very low, right? It's like
is.
you can imagine how bad the coffee is, right?
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, those are the scores. I didn't even reach. I reached 8 aroma.
Oh.
The rest are 6.5. Yeah, but it's the same coffee that we win in nationals,
I see.
right? So at some point, I feel relieved that okay, it's the coffee that really messed up so bad. Meaning, my effort still there. We did it. The team did it well. So I don't have any regrets. Actually, I learned something, and the other competitors learned as well because those
Exactly.
coffee are the one that keep winning. How many times repeatedly each year, right? That's what we choose. So we learn from that, and it's actually good. That I'm not sure if the right word is recalibrated. The judges become recalibrated and more aware of how to score coffee. That's why my coffee score is very low. I get even a comment that it's not coffee anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like juice. So Okay. Yeah, I have that comment in the
Interesting.
debriefing. So it was my first time, so I don't know how to react. Actually, I'm still in shock.
Yeah.
In the debriefing, and everything is like so fussy.
Yeah.
It's like everyone, there's next after you, and then someone is like fighting already. So it's like very hectic behind the stage.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't have that time to what should I ask? What should I complain, or is it true? So because it's my first time, maybe it's they're correct. So from that moment, yeah. So and at this next time, you know how to adjust. And other people or other competitors experience the same. Yeah, they get very low score. And then, so yeah, we just have to adjust from what judge needs, what like the organization needs, which is good, meaning they change their preference.
Yeah.
They more into clean cup of coffee, not overpowering. That's their preference
Yeah.
now, which
That's
is
good. That's good.
that's very very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So anyway, let's go to the Ibrik competition. So
Yes.
Cezve coffee, it's not very common
Mm-hmm.
drink. I assume that you don't have a Cezve at home.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not very popular in coffee shops here in UAE,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very traditional, of course. Why you decided to compete in this competition? So
So again, when I decided to compete in Ibrik, I was like, I'm still undecided. It's like if I don't have that strong message, why will I compete? And then I come to think about it. It's like, yeah, it's not famous, it's not even used too much, or it's like underrated. So I tried to brew one with good coffee, and I'm still deciding should I take it or no. Then I brewed one. If I will like it, okay, there's a chance. And then I brewed a good coffee, specialty coffee, high grade, 90 plus. And then when I drink it, it's like a smooth espresso. It's like a lighter than espresso, in between espresso and filter. It's like those kind of intensities. So I was like, why don't like just because people don't drink it because of the how they look at it before, like
Yeah.
old time. So they judge it right away. And even myself, I did that. Yeah. So right at that moment, I changed my perception on that coffee that it can be good. Maybe I can be, but maybe my message is something like that to the people like that has the same vision of me before, that I don't value it. So maybe my purpose is to change their vision. So that's how I decided to compete with Ibrik. Yeah, to establish that purpose first and then go to technicals after. Yeah.
So I remember I was judging you. So
Yeah.
I was really impressed by your performance. Of course, you have like this professional skill in front of the audience, in front of the judges. I still remember your presentation, and so did you expect that you would win again?
That was only few competitors.
Yeah.
So I automatically think that I will have a place. Like I will have a place because it's only six, and then at least I'll be in the sixth. So I didn't. Again, I didn't think right away that it will be a winning. Though I aimed, like everyone aimed to win, but I just enjoy the process less. I just enjoy the process more on preparation of Ibrik, like what I did in Brewers. Because
Oh.
in Brewers, I pressured myself so much.
Yeah.
Like because it's my first, I don't know where to start. I don't know like. While in Ibrik, okay, I can manage my time even better. I can manage my routine even better. So it's just a free flow kind of preparation. Still hectic, but it's less intense than what I did in the Brewers.
I see. So
Yeah.
what happened in the world?
It will be next year.
It will be next year. Oh my God, yes, Michaela. Oh my God,
Yeah,
yes. Michaela went to the world.
Yeah.
She won.
She won.
And then you will go.
Yeah.
Yes,
Next year,
yes, it's
Athens.
a different schedule. Okay,
Yeah.
good luck then.
Thank you.
Please prepare. I think you have the chances to be at least in the finals.
Yeah,
And
I hope so. And Mika is there to guide for sure.
sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm very curious about your artistic side. So you're an artist, as I understand. Did you study the art in school, or is it just a hobby? So you have beautiful Instagram when I see the pictures while you're drawing. Because for me, I'm not an artist. I can't draw. My style of drawing is like the child 3 years old. But you have big pictures. It's like masterpieces. So did you study that or?
Actually, no, I didn't study art. I started art or painting very late, like college. But I didn't study because my brothers are all artists. So they are the one who do exhibitions and galleries. So they are the one who's more into art. And then since I'm the only like girl in the family, I like outcasted on what the boys do. So I don't go with them. And then when I keep seeing their friends going to our house and I see how they do it, and then just one time I ask someone to teach me to like just try me something like that during college times. And then I did my first art, I think 2013 or 2012. It's very late for yeah. And then I kept doing it, and then I started also joining exhibitions, but only one time in Philippines, and then the rest are here in UAE.
Wow.
Yeah.
You still drawing? You have all the equipment at home?
I have a yeah. That's
think
where
it's
my
a
money
way
goes.
I think it's the way of meditation, especially while preparing for competition. So you can draw something like to relax.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're in the different world.
Yeah.
Maybe so like for you, maybe you get that in sports, or you get that to other things.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's the painting that meditates me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very important.
And certainly, I would love to know about your collaboration with Brewista. Could you tell us more info about that? So, because I see the beautiful kettles with paintings with different colors. What behind that? This project?
Yeah, so I first used that at World of Coffee at Milan. And then Brewista approached me early this year. Yeah, early this year, Brewista approached me regarding the collaboration wherein they will be releasing the same set of colors. Wherein my original piece is actually customized by Tim of Bike Hike Brew. So he's the one who's customizing mostly AeroPress Championship
Oh.
Designs. So I did that with him, and then Brewista asked my permission to do a collaboration with them, and then they will be releasing their plans. So that's it. And then actually the proceeds and the profit of that collaboration I choose to give to a farm in Philippines. So all of the proceeds of the kettles will be going to a certain farm in Philippines.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And how they reached you by Instagram or email? How, or someone passed by you and tell? Oh, let's
In
collaborate?
email, yeah. They just reach me on email, but they're very friendly. Even in Instagram, they just keep on, talking casually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just met them in real life last in Melbourne. Yeah, wherein I do they hosted me to go to Melbourne and be in their booth at some hours of the event, so just to promote it.
Wow.
It's supposedly in Italy, but I didn't get the chance to have the visa, so they moved to Melbourne. They're very helpful and they're very fun.
Nice, so nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations with this project. So you have the whole collection at home of kettles, or?
Yeah, I think I gave it away. No, I still have at home one, two. I gave one. No, I only have one, I think. Yeah.
Which color?
And then the purple. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's another giveaway going on, so
Nice. Interesting. I would love to have one.
yes, please. What color?
Green maybe.
Okay.
Um, cool. Traveling is the best part of coffee industry. So you've been recently to Australia, and if I'm not mistaken, in Bali, yeah, or where you been?
I don't know, it's just past there.
You Bali, yeah?
Yeah, it's just, in Bali it's just a few hours.
Ah, a few hours. Yeah, but there were lots of pictures.
Yeah, it takes like long time waiting.
Oh, I see, I see. So, is it your what is your favorite country? Like where you've been to?
I never been to like much. I just went, yeah, Italy, where it's because of coffee, Milan, and then Melbourne, still because of coffee.
Yeah.
Which I
That's
really
why.
love though. Yeah, and then last is Colombia. No, last is Melbourne, but yeah, I went to Colombia
Oh.
as well to attend Lucia's training camp.
Oh.
Yeah, so among all of those, I think it's very different because in Melbourne, you will see the very diverse and like the massive coffee scene everywhere. So which I appreciated so much when I went there. Or like the people are really, when you say into coffee, they're really into coffee, and everyone is like so into it. And but I can say that what I love most when I go out of the country is Colombia trip.
Oh.
Yeah, wherein I was able to attend the training camp of Lucia. And then what's good about that is that it's a fermentation training camp, right?
Yeah, that's very interesting. I really
Yeah.
wanted to go, but it's very limited with the spots. And I heard it's going to be in January, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
uh-huh.
So, could you tell us a little bit more about this camp? So, I think people don't know about that.
So what we did there is there's a classroom training, and there's also actual training. So we did ferment coffees, lactic, citric, and then the normal ones, and then. But beside from the theory that you will be learning from Lucia, I think what I value most is when I met the producers that they're in in our class as well. I think actually that camp is really should be intended for the producers who really want to know more how to take care of their coffee,
Yeah,
so
indeed.
to be more valuable, to like to keep at least up in the market.
Yeah.
Because they have all the capability, they have all the resources, but they don't know how to take care of. They don't know how to maintain their coffee. They have like low graded coffee, but when you go there, you'll realize that they have really good coffee. They just don't know how to do it or how to execute things, or maybe they're overdoing something. That's why it tastes different. So what good about that training camp is you will learn as a producer. You will learn more how to raise the value of what you have and to minimize what you are overdoing. Yeah, so actually on the next training camp, there's also, which is very good, from side of Lucia, there is like sponsorship. Yeah, you can sponsor now producer for them to experience the training camp as well.
Yeah, that's
Like,
nice. That's a nice idea.
Because I think it's very valuable to the producers rather than as though it's good also that we see what happens in the fermentation, how does it works, what's the reality and what's the scientific behind what's happening, what are the vocabularies that we're misusing, what are the vocabularies that we should use. So it's good that on that side I learned so much on that one. But I hope in the next future, in the future training camp, there are more producers to get involved because it will really help a lot of producers for sure.
Good. How's Lucia Solis? So she's pretty knowledgeable, yeah, about fermentation.
She is pretty and knowledgeable. Yeah, and it's like a dream come true seeing her in person. I was like, it still sounds like podcast to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. By the way, we recommend this podcast to the listeners because it's very interesting.
Yeah.
It explains about fermentation and in a very scientific way, but yeah, if you listen to that, you really understand what's happening with coffee. So Lucia talks about it very, clear, and you will understand all. So I recommend you to subscribe.
And also, what I love, what she said is like, maybe we are just so much judging the producers. Maybe we are the one to be, like we consumers, we are the one decides what the producers will make. So if we keep on asking for more, maybe the producers already did their best, but they're being forced to do more because the consumer is asking for more to them.
Exactly. So what do you think the future of coffee? Do you have any view of that?
I think we're heading in a good way if it will be like rerouted. Yeah, I think we're pretty in a good way of like elevating everything, innovating in coffee in a good way.
Yeah.
Because we can, like what I said, we can be overdoing something already. But if we do it in the right way, then maybe in next few years there's no bad coffee anymore, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So what is the power of coffee? What do you think? How to improve the industry, like to drink more delicious cup of coffee?
Coffee industry for me is like so broad. You know, we don't like this is what I get from Lucia actually, that it's very raw and it's very wide.
Yeah.
Like anyone can say something and it can be true and it cannot and can be not. So it really depends on the people right now, on this generation, how we will guide the next generations coming. It all depends to us. I cannot say what will happen on the next one because it's like everyone has a voice now. Everyone can do article. Everyone can do can compete and people believe. Everyone can do a book and people believe. So I think what we should have is like more awareness on what we will say.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And we should be we should be we should share information and we should do researches and prove the information which we read about coffee.
Exactly.
And the power in knowledge.
Yeah.
I think. And who is the role model in the coffee industry for you? Do you have someone who you follow?
That I follow. Oh, that's hard to answer. Yeah, that's hard to answer because it's very wide and I don't think someone will be so concrete example in terms of coffee. I easily get inspired by anyone.
Yeah.
Like maybe something today that you said inspires me already.
Yeah.
So I don't really have that because we're all human in the end. Yeah, so I don't stick to one person to be inspired of. I get easily inspired by anyone. Someone who will give me coffees. Like he shared coffee. We watch his competition and he shared coffee and I just get so inspired. So yeah, I don't have single person to be inspired of. Yeah.
Maybe you follow someone, maybe you watch some YouTube channels or you read some resources you can share as well.
Yeah, Lucia.
Yep.
Yeah, I watch Lucia podcast. In terms of competition, actually I watch Patrick Rolfe training so much because I love how he give insights. And what else? In terms of brewing, I have Lance just to show what's the updates in coffee, in brewing, because there's like another kind of coffee world happening in brewing, home brewing and everything.
Yeah.
So I just keep my I have to be hyped or in the trend, what's new, what's happening, and Lance is always on the on the go. So yeah, I just keep watching it.
Yeah, we have to be in trend. We need to see what's happening around, not only in specialty, I think, even the commercial big companies, because they rule the world.
Yeah, that's where the business is.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Do you have any like newest goals in coffee industry? You have maybe you want to compete in some competitions.
Okay. Maybe I don't have like a long-term plan. Actually, I don't give myself a long-term plan because maybe you overthink too much of what it should be, but you don't focus, or you don't focus on what's happening right now. So for now, I am focused on what's happening right now, and the nearest that's approaching is the barista. I I think I have some purpose and message to share again in the barista.
Okay.
And I'm currently preparing in that one. If I get a slot, good. If I don't get a slot, try next time. Yeah, I think that's the hardest part in UAE to get the slot. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
So yeah, the barista championship.
I see. Yeah, good luck anyway. I think you will have, at least you will have something to prepare for. Ibrik,
Yeah.
World Ibrik. And let's see what will be in barista competitions. What do you wish everybody understands about your job, like the barista job? What is that about? Because still, as you said, coffee industry is raw. So what do you want people to understand about our industry?
Our industry or the
Yeah,
barista
in-
job?
Both job and industry.
I think, or at least I hope, and I think it's happening, that people or the majority understand that what we are doing is a professional kind of work. Because, for example, in Philippines, like what I told you, my mom still think that being a barista is not a profession. It's not someone who has a degree. So it's that very laid back, and mostly the old people in our town still think of that way, or at least other part of the world, they don't still treasure it or value it as a professional skills.
Yeah.
So I think in the near future, we can have more acceptance and value, like people in the coffee industry, even if it's a barista or even it's just started as a server. Even if you're a server because if I'm going to a coffee shop, or because maybe I'm in coffee industry, if I go to a coffee shop, I expected that the server is also knowledgeable. Maybe he cannot do a latte art or something, but at least that server in specialty coffee for sure is knowledgeable. So they should have the same respect of who's behind the bar, who's the manager. I think we are all level and equal.
Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I would love also to ask you about any advice for competitors. So what is the secret of successful performance? Because next week we have Brewers Cup.
Yay.
Next month we have barista competition. So you have competed a lot. So what do you think is the successful performance?
In preparation, I think I've said it in my it's very timely because I just said it in my IG last time, that in terms of preparation, you just have to, if you're a newbie, you never had the chance to compete before. The easiest way to start is to establish your purpose, know what's your message. If you're just competing just to win plainly, to have that title or to be known, I think it doesn't work that way. It should be purpose driven, your concept, your message, and then everything will follow in the end. And then in terms of technical, read the rules and regulations very well, maybe 100
Please,
times
guys.
if it's
Yes.
needed. Yeah, page per page, so you will not end up
And
being-
between lines as well.
yeah, so I remember my rules and regulation have a lot of highlights.
Yes.
And then it ended up, I don't
Everything
remember.
is highlighted.
Everything is
Yes.
highlighted. Yeah, that helps me a lot because I did that only in the world.
Yeah.
In the nationals, I don't have the time to do that. But in the world, before I start again my training, I read all the rules and regulation, which is very helpful because what happened to me in the world is like the microphone stopped.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like the beginning of my, maybe 1 minute of
Okay.
my presentation. And then it stopped. If I didn't call a technical, for sure I'm DQ, right? But it's like, I don't know, it's like something came up into my mind that call a technical, you
Yeah.
will not be disqualified. Because if you don't know the rules, you might get lost and just stop.
Exactly.
But you didn't call a technical and just start right away. You didn't call the head judge. You didn't explain what happened. So that's very, very good point of like rereading the rules and regulations.
Learned it by heart. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you consider yourself as a coffee hero here in the coffee industry of UAE?
Not yet. Coffee hero. I think that's still a long way to go. Yeah, for me. For me, there's a lot of heroes going back to the farmers, going back to the real qualities coming from. There always be the hero, not us frontliners. I always consider us as frontliners. We are just like interpreting what the real heroes doing behind us, which are the farmers. So I will not consider myself unless I experience how to make a quality kind of coffee back in the farm. Yeah.
Nice. And almost the last question, what would you like to see in the coffee scene here in the UAE? Maybe something is missing because you've been to Australia, you've been to Italy, so these countries have massive coffee scene. Do you want to see something? Do you want to grab something here from these countries, or everything is fine here?
In UAE, I think is more to openness, not only for the coffee people, but in the market. Maybe they're not yet ready, but like what I said, it's very raw.
Yeah.
But more to UAE, it's very raw. So we have that responsibility to drive where this is heading. So the more we start early on heading to the right direction, so we are guiding the customers, not only the coffee industry, but the customers, where to appreciate more, where to put value more in terms of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I see. Cool. And last question. How would you describe yourself using 1-2 words? Maybe some people can describe you in 1, 2, 3 words if you can't answer this question.
3 different words, yeah? It's not a sentence, just a word.
Yeah, like maybe some people say about you and you know that, yeah, that's me. The description of me.
It can be anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bucket hat. I think they know me for that one. And the other one, I cannot describe myself. Purpose driven.
Oh. Sounds good.
And that's it.
Okay, that's
maybe
nice.
they describe me in other words, but let them.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the interview. I was having fun with you, so it was a very
Thank
interesting
you so
conversation.
much.
Yeah, so I think people will find that inspirational and interesting. And this was Coffee People in Middle East podcast. Thank you so much for the listening. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. It was a nice conversation with Mariam, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you really like my podcast, the best support from you would be your likes, sharing of my Instagram page, or if you buy coffee from Roast Story directly from me. And if you need an education program, either SCA certification or coffee consulting for your coffee shop, hit me up.